מנשרים קלו ומאריות גברו, לעשות רצון קונם וחפץ צורם. They were faster than eagles and stronger than lions to carry out the will of their Creator. These beautiful words from Tfilat Av HaRachamim. It's about innocent people who died al Kiddush Hashem in the significance of God's names, murdered simply because they were Jews, doing what God wants them to do. I never asked God or doubt Him as to why He chose such amazing boys as my nephew Gilad and his friend Naftali Eyal to be korbanot, sacrifice. Since I heard my father telling me on the phone, Lee, it's Gilad, as the one of the boy who were kidnapped, our lives forever have changed. 18 stressful days that went on forever after the boys had gone missing. Not knowing was the hardest thing. My thought and emotion were shaking from the most optimistic to the worst. And so many were praying and hoping along with me. It was incredible how people came together and put these boys in their hearts. And then, the terrible news. I felt that the sky had crashed down on me, and I couldn't help wondering, how many times were the boys shot? Did they suffer? Did Gilad see his friend getting killed in front of him? Which part of his body he was shot? My brother and his wife lost their only son. His 5 sisters lost their only brother. His chair now is empty. His bed is empty. His room is empty. Yet, I never questioned God's decision, even though it caused unbearable pain and left me and my family forever with a huge hole in our hearts. Let me tell you about my nephew Gilad, a brilliant, very humble, and extremely creative boy who always had a smile on his face. He was very close to his sister, and as a gifter baker, he would spoil them with the cakes and muffins. Of course, he left it to his mother to clean the kitchen. Gilad could be serious when necessary, but he also was a character. Like how he took care of his 8 cold fish, he named each of them and gave each a birthday that he will celebrate. And if any of them die, he will give them a fish funeral. Gilad was a leader and courageous, very responsible, and wise beyond his years. He was a counselor in Bnei Akiva youth movement and was adored by his group. He loved to help others and was always sensitive to how others felt. When he was 10, he purposely joined to a class for those who needed extra help in school, even though he didn't need to, so that his friend who was struggling would not be there by himself and be embarrassed. Some years later, when Gilad was on his way to school, he saw a big truck heading toward a woman crossing the street. Gilad could see that neither of them see each other. Because he knew the truck driver wouldn't hear him, he ran and jumped onto the truck while it was moving, pounding on his window, and had the driver stop. The truck did hit her leg, but the lady would have been killed for sure had Gilad was not acted. My nephew then called the ambulance and the police, and when he saw everything was under control, he went to school. He never told anyone what happened. Sometime later, the lady came to the school and asked, "Who's the boy who saved her life?" So she could thank him. After an inquiry, they found that it was Gilad. The lady came to my brother's house when he and his family were sitting Shiva, and she was the one who told them the story. This was my Gilad. Naftali Frankel, one of 7 children, was a kind and gentle 16-year-old with a huge heart who had many hobbies and interests. Loved by all who knew him, he was a responsible child, but was also full of joy. Naftali, who loved fun and sophisticated humor, had a great feel for words, and he was very witty on his own right. He was also gifted athletically and musically. He loved playing basketball and organized many games. He taught himself guitar and sang in the school choir. Naftali had many talents, interested and hobbies, yet he was an excellent student, earning the highest marks, who loved the Torah and learning new things. Eyal Ifrach, 19 years old, the oldest of 7 siblings, he had a big neshama, a huge soul. He loved Israel, hiking all over the country. He was known for being a leader while being sensitive to others. He was also energetic with a big personality. He was so friendly and warm to everyone. He played guitar and sang so beautifully, even creating his own music. Eyal was also a counselor to poor Ethiopian children, and he actually chose to finish high school in a very poor town so as to help with the town's development. These 3 beautiful boys were taken from us, and like so many tragedies, we don't generally understand why God allowed these terrible things. But this time, God showed us why. Everyone now knows that the dangerous tunnels that are being destroyed by the Israeli Defense Force probably will not have been found in time to stop horrible terrorist attacks without the boy being kidnapped. Now it makes sense. After 18 days that we were prayed, the boy were found dead, not alive. 18 mean chai. And thanks to them, Am Israel alive, Am Israel chai. Gilad, Naftali, and Eyal, in life you gave us love, kindness, hope, and joy. In death you saved us and gave us the same. My friend, we are now in the 9 days, just before the holiday of Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of Av, the saddest day of the Jewish year. And one of the reasons Tisha B'Av occurred was because of haters between people. We should use the example of Gilad, Naftali, and Eyal and show love, no haters, and be kind and patient with one another. We should share our chesed, doing small acts of kindness by looking out for our parents and brothers and sisters, and friends and neighbors. We can disagree, but we must show the world that we are one when it comes to our values and our humanity. Unfortunately, the haters doesn't stop, and our enemies want to destroy us for being Jews in our own homeland. As we gather here, Israeli brave Chayalim, soldiers, are fighting for Israel and yet for the Jewish people. Too many soldiers have already died, Al Kiddush Hashem, and my heart breaks for their families. We should pray that all the soldiers and citizens of Israel be safeguarded by God during very difficult and challenging time. We must be united, as when the boy were kidnapped, and we must remain united and give strong support to those who protect our people in our Holy Land. The people in Israel have the right to feel safe in the country, and its children should enjoy their summer vacation outside playing and not crowded into bomb shelters. As you know, I'm away from home, away from my family, and I miss my mom's hug so much. But I'm very grateful to you, Los Angeles community, the Israeli consulate, Bikur Cholim, groups and organizations, shuls, family individuals, for your collecting, hugging me, and helping me survive a terrible tragedy. And I want to also thank Temple of the Arts and Stand With Us for making this evening happen. Finally, Gilad, 48 days passed since you were missing, but for me, you are not gone. You will always be in my heart, and your pure spirit will follow me forever. It is so hard to imagine life without you, without your smile, without seeing you together with your sisters. You and Naftali and Eyal were faster than eagles and stronger than lions to do mitzvot, learning Torah, to do God's will by helping others. You inspired us, and you always be an inspiration. And I promise that we will do our best to honor your memory by being loving and kind. May it be God's will that through the merit of Gilad, Naftali, and Eyal, that someday, very soon, and we no longer know war and sadness, only peace and happiness. Thank you.